Good morning or afternoon, depending on when you're watching this. So right now we're getting ready to do 2.2 point slope form. Just make sure you're getting caught up on your homework if you have any missing homework. If you are struggling with something, you're reaching out to Miss Sanders or myself. And the big thing, guys, whenever you're watching these, make sure you're taking notes. It does help in class. I hope you've kind of realized that by now. Especially if you're virtual, make sure you're taking notes. It'll be a big help to you in the long run. All right. So now we're going to do 2.2 point slope form. So the objectives for today, we're going to write linear equations using point slope form, and we're going to interpret the slopes and intercepts of a line. So the last lesson says write the equation of a line with a slope of 2 and going through the point -2, 7. We learned how to do this because we did a slope intercept form. So I want you to pause the video right now and go ahead and try and write this equation in slope intercept form. All right, so you're going to have to find the y-intercept, don't forget, and then rewrite the equation. Hopefully you came back from your pause, and again, we're writing a slope-intercept form. It looks like this. So I know my slope. This is my x, this is my y. So I'm going to say 7 equals -2 times 2 plus b. 7 equals -4 plus b, and I'm going to add 4. To get my y-intercept is 11. So now I need to rewrite my equation with just a slope in there, 2 plus 2x, sorry, plus 11. So hopefully that's what you got when you pause the video. So this is great, all right? Now, today we're going to talk about point slope form. So slope-intercept form is nice when you have the y-intercept and the slope. But if they just give you a point like this and a slope like this, we can plug it into point slope form. So I'd go ahead and write this down. This is point slope form. All right? So the only thing you need for an equation to point slope form is a point and a slope. It's in its name, guys. If I was going to rewrite this equation using the point slope they gave me, I would say this is my y1, this is my x1. So I'm going to plug in 7 for y now. So that's my y1. You leave the first y blank. Plug in your slope of 2. And then my x1 is that -2 that we used earlier. So I'm going to rewrite this so I can say negative negative turns into a positive. So I get y minus 7. I would distribute equals 2x plus 4. I'm going to add 7 to get y equals 2x plus 11. Do you see how it's the same thing? All right, so I can take point slope form and convert it to slope intercept form very, very easily. The point slope form is very beneficial when you just have just a point and a slope. And that's what we're going to work on today. So a line with a slope of 1/2 passes through the point 3, -2. What form can you use to write the equation of the line? What is the equation in that form? All right, so this is what we just talked about. We're going to use point slope form because we have a point and a slope. So here's what it looks like. It's going to be y minus a -2 equals my slope of 1/2 times x minus 3. Now let's simplify it. This is going to turn into y plus 2 equals 1/2 times x minus 3. So that's the equation of that line in point slope form. Sometimes they're going to give you 2 points. But don't forget, we remember how to find the slope, or we know how to find the slope if they give us 2 points. I take y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Right? So when I do that, I'm going to get 3 minus 1 over 2 minus a -4. So my slope is going to be 2 over, that's going to turn into 2 plus 4 on the bottom, so 6. Let's simplify our slope, we get 1/3. So now I can use either point to write it in point slope form. I'm going to use 2, 3, right? So I'm going to take 1 minus 3 equals my slope of 1/3 times x minus 2. So we just wrote it in point slope form. That's the equation of that line. I want you guys to pause the video and try this bottom one. So it's similar, just different numbers. So hopefully you came back from your pause. And you got a slope of -4/5. Okay, again, doesn't matter which point you use. I'm going to use the one on the right. So I get y minus 3 equals -4/5 times x minus a negative is going to turn into plus 3. If you use this one, okay, your slope's not going to change, but it's going to be y plus 1 equals -4/5 times x minus 2. So either answer works in point slope form. All right. If that was difficult, make sure you are asking questions or sending us an email letting us know that you are struggling with this. So now we're going to graph it. All right. If they give you the equation in point slope form, remember we can find a point and we should know what the slope is. All right. So the big thing is on your point, you're going to use the opposite signs. So this right here is a -3. That's going to be a +3 for my y then. This right here is a +1, so that's going to be a -1 for my x. And my slope is -2/3, right? I've overrun, so I should be able to graph it now. Make my xy plane. Put in my lines. Let's graph with the point first, so -1, 3. And then I'm going to go down 2, right 3. Okay, and I can do it again. Down 2, right 3. Obviously, my graph is a little crooked. You should have a straight line. Mine's just crooked because of the way I set up my graph, because I drew it myself. All right? So I want you to pause the video and try this one. It's very similar. Find a point, use your slope to graph it. So hopefully you came back from your pause. Your point should be 3, -2, and your slope should be 1/2. So I can go up 1, right 2, or I can go down 1, left 2. Make my line. Again, a positive slope should go up and to the right. A negative slope should go down and to the left. So that's a good hint that we graphed both of those correctly. All right, that's another section. If you're struggling with, please let us know. We will help you understand it a little bit better. All right. So now the next one's a word problem. So it says an event facility has a banquet hall that can hold up to 250 people. The price for a party includes the cost of the room rental plus the cost of a meal for each guest. Marissa is planning an event for 75 people. She has budgeted $1,200 for the party. Will it be enough? Well, guys, don't forget, this is your X right here. This is your Y. Okay? So I can make points out of this. The first point I can use is 50, 725. Because for 50 guests, it costs $725. The other point I can use is 100, 1,325. So now we have 2 points. Can we find the slope from that? Well, yeah. I can do 1,325 minus 725 over 100 minus 50. I get 600 over 50, which is 12. So then it asks, what does your slope represent? Well, you have 2 options. It says the price for a party includes the cost of the room rental plus the cost of a meal for each guest. Well, think about it. Slope is going to be 12 over 1. So that's going to be something to something. What that means is it costs $12 for each guest to eat. Remember, it's your y over your x, right? My y is cost. My x is guest. Okay? So that's what slope represents. Now, can we find what b represents? Well, we can find b. Let's use point slope form. So I'm going to use this point, and I know my slope's 12. So y minus 725 equals 12 times x minus 50. I'm going to distribute. Y minus 725 equals 12x. We're going to write this one in slope-intercept form. So I can add 725. I get y equals 12x plus 125. This is my y-intercept. Remember, we had two options. It's either the price per meal for each guest or the cost of the room rental. So the 125, my b, is going to be the cost of the room rental. So now she wants to know, does she have enough money for 75 guests? Well, 75 is going to be my x because guest is x. So let's plug it into our equation. 12 times 75 plus 125. It's 900 plus 125. I get the cost is $1,025. She has $1,200. So does she have enough money? The answer should be yes, she has enough money. Okay? So very end here, we're just going to kind of review everything. Denzel identified 3, 2 as a point on the line. Y minus 2 equals 2/3 times x plus 3. What's the error he made? Hopefully you can kind of pick it out. We're supposed to use opposite signs for our point, so it should be -3, 2. All right, next one, write the equation of the line in point-slope form that passes you the given point with the given slope. This one, they give you everything you need, so I just write y minus 5 equals -3 times x minus 1. Last one, again, I challenge you to pause these and try them at least. My slope is -4/3, so then I'm going to take a point, plug it in, write it in point-slope form. Now this one says write the equation in slope-intercept form, so I want to distribute. And then add my 6 over. And then ta-da, we wrote it in slope-intercept form. So point-slope form, again, translates really, really easily to slope-intercept form. Then lastly, if they give you a point, go ahead and find another point on here, okay, to figure out your slope. So I know I can plug in y plus 1 equals, I need to figure out what my slope is, x minus 2. Well, my slope is down 2, right 1, so that's a slope of -2. Same way here, I already know I could plug in y minus 1 equals x minus 3. I need to figure out what my slope is. I went up 2, right 3, so my slope is 2/3. Okay? So that's point-slope form. If you guys have any questions, please let us know. We are more than happy to help. We can set up some tutoring and get stuff figured out. All right, have a good day, guys.